Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? Is it half bucket, half like centaur? Like what? Please enter the current time, as always, right? What's my favorite time? What is my actual favorite time? Because last time they told me to put in my favorite time is 11:15 p.m. Oh, 11:15. Your favorite time of the day. It is my favorite time of the day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 11:15 is p.m. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 11:15 p.m.? Well, it's 2:15, so it's inaccurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. It's a good idea to collect data. Wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip up a couple new ones. Oh, what do we got? Come on, something cool. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Aww. What's up, YouTube? Lambdaman here, and welcome back to the Stanley Parable 2, I should say, because apparently it's no longer this. We're going to take the bucket.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms,
Woo! Bucket.
and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
The recommended thing for us to do was to take this bucket and go back down. We're going to just keep on running. Whoa. Whoa. What in the world? There will be a reward for finding them all. Somewhere red and blue. Large room, lots of boxes. Stairs. Something to do with stairs. Somewhere both red and blue nearby a fireplace. They said stairs.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the
This is
bucket
what I
walked
can think of.
upstairs to the boss's office.
Aha!
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
All right, what do we got?
And now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
Why don't you just call it a collectible? That's like such an easy name. Okay, so supposedly something will happen if I go down with the bucket and then come back up. Which I didn't even know was an option for some reason.
Wait, Stanley said to the bucket. Can we go back up? When I was pressing those keypad buttons, there was something very intriguing about the number 3. I want to go back so I can try pressing the number 3 again.
What?
The bucket said nothing.
Because they can't talk. Even I know that, narrator. Come on, this is your story. You should know that the bucket can't talk. Where is... Alright, let's see what happens if I press the number 3.
Here we are, said Stanley. Now I'm going to try out that number 3 button. He took the bucket over to the keypad and began absolutely slamming on the number 3 over and over and over. Wow, he said. The number 3 is such a special button. I'm having the time of my life.
This is awesome. I love
Stanley
this.
looked expectantly at the bucket, but the bucket remained silent. This was a shock to Stanley, who had always felt such a connection with the bucket. How was this not as exciting to the bucket as it was to him?
Are you betraying the
Once
bucket?
Stanley had had enough of the number 3, he got back in the elevator.
Absolutely not. Alright, let's go.
Perhaps the bucket had missed something. Perhaps it had not seen how much joy Stanley got from slamming the number 3 repeatedly.
Honestly, I'm kind of sad.
A hint of regret nagged in the back of Stanley's mind. Should he Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Did something else happen?
They high-fived in a really cool way. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror.
The bucket betrayed me!
Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
The bucket's the bad guy?
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds.
Oh,
Silly birds.
Yo, these are some silly
the control
birds.
buttons became active again.
Make the birds fly. Oh! Oh.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another.
I like these
and
silly
then
birds.
it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility
Penguin!
at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hand.
You are a genius.
The one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I am very happy. Silly bird. That's awesome. Take the
The
bucket.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away
And
as
I still
Stanley
can't.
embraced the bucket.
All right, well, on to new stuff, I guess.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chin. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Nope, I didn't. We're going this way. What's this way? Go.
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere
It's talking
else.
now.
The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Is it calculated? Numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wow. Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop it. I have a massive
Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do. Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
They can talk.
But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him,
It
and
did.
he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Okay. I will do what the bucket asked.
In here, said the bucket. Go into this dark room over here. Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Okay. Yeah, I did. What's in here? Uh-oh.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone, and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Okay. I want to live with you forever, Bucket. You're my homie. Homie Bucket.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Wait, but it can't? I like my... What does the coffee cup say? I want to know what the coffee cup says. Hey, Bucket. Hello, Stanley. It's me, your Bucket. Press M to take me to work with you. Okay.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press Y to take me back home? Okay.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well?
Absolutely.
To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object?
But no, it's the
I want
it's
to
the
say
bucket.
something
You
to him,
don't
but
get
I
it.
don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
I will. Probably. No, actually, no, I won't.
I'll try
Not
anyway.
listening.
Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it.
Did I ask?
It doesn't do anything else.
Don't care. Don't listen to the loud man. Press L for us to go back home. Going back home.
You see, he's not listening.
You're right. He's
He's
not.
still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Press V to ignore anyone in your life except me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket.
Do you hear something?
Sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
It really does. You believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press R to go back home. I'm going home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press I to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel
It's
so
not
need
just
to
a
point
bucket.
out the ways in which
It's my bucket.
so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press J to go home.
Oh no. I'm having feelings.
Oh,
The bucket.
Oh, we're gonna.
What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps, if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing.
No, it's
Yes.
my bucket,
The
narrator.
bucket could tell
Don't
me
get
what
that
to do
confused.
in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket.
No.
Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley.
No.
I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
How am I supposed to know when to open my eyes? Oh, go back to work, Stanley? Okay. And it resets. Okay, cool.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
There's the
lift,
Stanley.
yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Here we go, I got it.
You're getting close now,
Only
Stanley.
one more.
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Annularines. Very soon, you'll collect the
The
last
Figler
one, and then
Annular-
the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now
Why
we
do they
have
get
them all.
sadder?
You can't go back to when you had no Figler Annularines. None of us can.
Oh. Wait, there's a vent right here? Where does the vent go? Oh. It's dark in here. Where? Where am I? What is this place? Hello?
Okay, this is day number 295. Tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore.
Who's recording this?
The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms.
I think this bucket is possessed.
Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure?
I think we need to get rid of
I
it.
can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who I'll be trying to get. What's that? Who's there? Caporata.
Loretta? This bucket's possessed. It is. It's 100% possessed. And then it resets. Dude, what?
All of his co-workers were gone.
Okay,
What
I
did it
don't trust the
mean?
bucket at all
Stanley
anymore.
decided to go to the meeting room.
Come on, let's go.
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
All right, now we're going to jump off.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death,
Oh!
that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
That was not a death fall. There's no way. Do I reset?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Whiteboard ending is back. Why am I in the whiteboard room?
The good old bucket. Just Stanley pressed the bucket upon every little thing in the office. Nothing responded to the bucket's touch, but it did little to discourage Stanley's belief in the magic of the bucket.
I'm somewhat confused right now. I don't know why we're here. Why did this lead to the whiteboard ending?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No, I didn't.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind.
The bucket was
was
wrong.
wrong.
Okay,
Stanley
so
took the
what's
door
going to
on his
happen
left
then?
to go
Shut
back
up,
to the
narrator.
meeting
You can't
room.
hear him anymore. I'm
No,
going to land on that
Said the
platform.
bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo
Shut up.
lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did
Okay,
not
you're right.
question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious
Here we
fact.
go, here we go.
He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Absolutely. Except I didn't. Okay, so I can't go that way. Let's see what we can find in this way. Hello? Hello? 2B1? 2B1 with the bucket. Oh gosh, what have I done? 2B3. The bucket has a split personality disorder.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, "No buckets past this point." Stanley, how could you think it was okay to
What
bring the
the
bucket
what?
here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly
yeah.
and
What,
properly.
can you guys tell me what a bucket
So
is?
much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Okay. What's in here?
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin.
Obviously, I don't know what a bucket is.
Item 1. Is this a bucket?
No.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket,
What?
not an actual bucket.
You threw a hologram of a bucket at me and expected me to get it right?
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
No, it's another hologram.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
It still serves the same purpose, though. You can throw whatever you want at me and say it's not a bucket. You know, it's...
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
No.
Incorrect. This is a bucket.
Oh. Okay, that one's a bucket. Just...
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Abso-fucking-lutely it is.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth.
No, it's a
I
bucket.
thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one.
I think it looks like a bucket. You could use that to hold some water or something.
Is this a bucket?
Absolutely.
Correct.
What?
This is a bucket.
How? In what way?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
No.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha.
What? Is it half bucket, half like centaur? Like
Item-
what?
Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
Yes, it's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something.
that is a bucket
Unless,
right there.
in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
Yes.
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Probably.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry, but I'm going to erase all the
No,
buckets
you
from
are
the
not.
game
This
entirely.
bucket stays.
Okay.
It stays. Do
Here we
not.
go.
Don't you dare. I swear if he got rid of
What
the bucket.
happened? Is everything gone?
Everything is the
Why did
bucket.
everything disappear?
Everything is the bucket.
Was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket.
Let's
My
go.
God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
You can
And
be.
you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into
Everything
anyone
is a
else,
bucket.
maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
Yeah. Bucket. I swear if he got rid of my bucket, I'm going to lose my absolute mind.
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
Did I?
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Interesting. Okay, so what changed? All right, I want to find this last Stanley figurine.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
I did. Isn't that crazy, guys? I entered the door on my left. Last one is somewhere both red and blue. Somewhere red and blue? Where's somewhere red and blue? So we have to find somewhere red and blue?
stepping in.
Wait, what? Did that open a door? Did I break it? Oh. Wait a minute. This door's open now. Where does this lead? You are now leaving? To where? Escape pod launch bay? Oh. Why do we have this? Wait, no, we can only send us or the bucket, and we're sending the bucket? Goodbye, bucket. I will miss you forever. You were my one true love. I will forever miss you. Goodbye, bucket. And then it resets. Cool. Dude,
All of his
I'm
co-workers
just trying
were
to think
gone.
where
What
the
could it
last
mean?
one could be.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
It's
missed a memo.
gone! Why haven't you joined the Discord?